The silver lining for what we're facing in the housing market right now here in Utah is... How's it going? Welcome to the numbers and the nuance. This is where you come weekly to know exactly what's going on in Utah's real estate market. My name is Christopher McGee. I'm the owner of Halcyon Real Estate. Halcyon Real Estate is affiliated with the Keller Williams Market Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. Today is the 3rd of June. And we'll just do here what we do every week. I'll give you my kind of zoomed out opinion of what all the numbers mean, and then we'll just dive right into weekly numbers pulled right out of the MLS, all right? So let's check out the nuance of the market. Okay, everything is essentially trending the way it has been trending since the beginning of the spring season, okay? So inventory is still coming up, days on market is still coming down, our demand looks like it's coming up still, average list price is on a moderate uptrend, all of these, and everything, what we're essentially seeing is both supply and demand are increasing at the same time. What we're looking at really is that our demand has stayed surprisingly consistently high long enough for our supply to start being driven to catch up, because the demand isn't taking such big bites out of supply that it's impossible for supply to catch up. So that's what we're seeing. We're seeing supply catch up to demand because somehow in the face of higher than ever prices and in the face of relatively high interest rates, the demand for homes in Utah has stayed pretty consistent. Now, I know that nobody is excited about Utah's housing market right now, right? The high interest rates coupled with the high prices have really kicked a lot of people out of being able to buy their first home, and it's kept a lot of people from being able to move up in their lifestyle. I want to show you the silver lining here though, if you're not seeing it. So first you got to understand that our current high-priced situation in our housing market here in Utah is a direct result of super low inventory coupled with super low interest rates coupled with a lot of people want to live here. And so during the 2019, 2020, 2021 era, we just had super low interest rates and a lot of people wanting to be here. And you know, when a buyer makes an offer on a home and they learn that the home had 30 other offers on it, they're like, oh my gosh, well, okay, on to the next. And then they do the same thing. And you know, after 2 or 3 times of doing that same thing where your offer that was reasonably priced for the home just got shut down because there were 30 other offers on it, pretty soon you start making offers over asking price, right? And pretty soon all the buyers in the market get the idea that that's the way to win. And it was possible because interest rates were so low and prices hadn't reached quite what they are at this point, right? And so we had those years of price increase to the tune of 20 to almost 30% a year, and that got us where we are now. In order to keep prices from running away at that breakneck speed, the Fed raised interest rates precisely to make it harder to buy, well, anything but homes as well. And that is supposed to have the effect of slowing down demand so that supply can catch up and prices can come back down. And now finally, it's looking like in our housing market here, supply is able to catch up, and that's the silver lining. Our supply is catching up and it's creating the buffer we need for when interest rates do come back down, because when interest rates come back down, there's going to be a relative surge in demand again. Interest rates come down, right? We're at 6.97, a little over 7% right now, right? And it's essentially hovered around there for months. Think of all the buyers that would have hit the market and bought a home if interest rates were at 6%, right? And as interest rates were on their way up, they were like, we can do this, and then it passed 6%, and they're like, we can't do this anymore, it won't make sense for what we're looking for, right? So if we bring interest rates down to 6%, all those buyers come back onto the field and they start playing the game. Imagine when it gets down to 5.5% or 5% interest rate, there will be a relative flood of demand that we need a buffer of supply against. If our inventory cannot catch up and get up into 10, 11, 12,000, then when interest rates start to come down, and don't plan on it next month or anything, I wouldn't even plan on it this year, but when interest rates do start to come down, we need that buffer of inventory so that we're not in the same situation again of really low inventory coupled with lower interest rates coupled with there's still a lot of demand for people to live here in Utah. So the silver lining for what we're facing in the housing market right now here in Utah is, yes, prices are high, yes, interest rates are high, yes, demand is still there, but supply is catching up. Supply is catching up, and hopefully demand continues to slow down so that supply can get to a point where we've got enough of a buffer that it doesn't whiplash us back into the same scenario when interest rates start coming down. Let's look at the numbers. Okay, so inventory this week, as of this morning, is at 9,028 available homes for sale. That's down just like four from the previous week. Clearly still trending up. Our current average days on market for homes in Utah is 41 days. It's down just a bit from last week, and this is still trending down. Average list price this last week was $667,704, which is up from the previous week and trending up moderately, where the average sold price came to $667,504, making the difference between average list and the price at which the homes actually sold just $200 in the buyer's favor. This is the closest we've seen actual sold price get to asking price since interest rates started hiking in early 2022. Homes sold last week came to 587. That's down from the previous week, but this is clearly still trending up. Number of homes currently under contract comes to 5,412. That's down just a bit from the previous week. This is looking to have leveled out. The number of price reductions we had last week came up again to 965, keeping this upward trend going on that price reduction thing. And then the number of listing contracts that were either canceled, expired, or withdrawn came up to 390. It spiked up as we expected to for the first reporting of any month. And that's it for this week, guys. If you have any questions about anything that I've gone over here, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. I'll be happy to respond. And if you or anybody you know is thinking to move here in Utah in the coming months or this year, I hope you're comfortable reaching out to me. You know, I know this market like the back of my hand, and I'll be happy to work with you on your team. And last but not least, if you have interest in staying on top of what's happening in Utah's housing market, there will not be a better way than to hit that subscribe and just keep up on it with me from week to week. Thanks for watching this week, guys. We'll see you next time.